All right, here we go. We've got the winner of the 16th annual Harvest of Speed, Rocket Rob Warren. Congratulations, Rob. I know this one's a big one for you. It's been a lot of times trying. You've never been able to pull this one off here. You pulled it off tonight. You had a lot of pressure out there. How's it feel to win your first Harvest of Speed?
Man, that was fantastic. I thought for sure you were going to come from a lap down with 75 laps. We got to your back end pretty early, and you disappeared. But what a great race by Keith Powell. I saw his front bumper on my screen a couple of times. He never touched me. He was right there. I'd get a gap, maybe cut a lap card just a little bit better, but not for long. He would just chew that gap right up. And then he was wicked close to me when I messed up on, I think it was like turn 3 entry or something like that. And Dave O got him. And then I went flying into turn 1, no one around me, and all of a sudden I get sent up the track. That was a surprise. So I returned the favor in turn 3, and then all of a sudden Dave O got the pit suck. So I feel bad for Dave O. It didn't want to ruin his whole race, but wanted to let him know, you were nowhere near my engine when you went into turn 1. Not the way we want to race, but unfortunately, sometimes NASCAR heat lends itself to go-kart racing. But other than that, man, lap cars were pretty awesome. I saw the XXX PPP coming up every now and again, and those guys stayed right down and out of the way. Coming up on people that were having just a rough night, they would give you room. There were a couple of guys that were racing for position, and I was relatively pretty surprised that they would just kind of once you got there, move out of your way. I did use one lap car as a outside wall. I don't know who it was. It was a black car, but man, I was under heavy threat, and I was on the bottom and my left side's on the white stripe, and that car was going to make the racing groove, and I'm like, I'm already here, buddy. I cannot let up. These guys are breathing down my throat. But man, what a great race. That was a good time.
Congratulations, Rob. Your first Harvest of Speed win. You got a couple more that you want to get off your back out there, but this was a big one. Nice way to start the season in defense of your title.
Thanks, brother. It certainly is. I'm usually so far behind at the Harvest of Speed to start a season. It's nice to be near the front.
Rocket Rob Warren, your winner. Let's talk to last year's winner. Keith put one on you, Powell, man. Keith, you threw everything in the book at him, and it got a little dicey out there, going from third to second to first to second to third and back and forth, but running most of the race right on the rear Nerf bar, that first to finish Race Servers Roadster. Looked like the Mayfield Missile might have had something if you could have got to him sooner here tonight. What were you lacking to pick off your second Harvest win in a row?
Hey, thanks, Bobby. Congrats to Rob. He just drove a race that he minimized his mistakes. It don't happen once or twice, and there were enough to get him, and that's where I was coming up a little short. He could pull me a little bit off of 4. If I got into 3, my entry into 3 right, I could maintain with him off 4. I couldn't gain anything off of 4 on him. I was just making it up through 1 and 2, and off of 2 I could really get off of 2 really good. And I kind of figured the top 4 would kind of get sorted out single file for a little bit, and we ran for, I don't know, 10-15 laps, and then Dave-O started his march up front, and it was right about where Dave was starting to get to me that Rob made that little bit of a mistake in 3 or 4, and he come off 4 just as hard. He must have lifted, and at this place you think, oh, he got that wall suck, so I jerked right, and then we went down front straightaway, and I thought, wow, that's the fastest pit road speed I ever seen. So he didn't he get sucked in, and Dave was able to fill that hole. So had to let Dave go, and they got to race, and they come up on a lap car at one point, and I think they were 3 wide, or at least from my view, and my pucker factor, they were 3 wide, which absolutely doesn't work at this place, and they got to rubbing wheels a little bit, and I was able to. I was trying to follow whoever was on the inside. I was so focused on one of the black cars in front of me, and I think Dave O wasn't able to make the outside work, which I actually thought he was going to be able to, and then we bumped a little bit, and I think it's the very next lap he got that wall suck, and it was kind of it. So I had the leisure of not being pressured from behind. I could just focus on Rob, but like I said, he minimized that one mistake that he made early, and I really didn't see him make anything else. And I just I might have had a little bit better of a car, but it wasn't enough to pass him. So congrats to him. It's hard to believe all the championships, and this is his first harvest of speed, but I knew he wanted it bad, just like I did last year. So congrats to him. Gotta thank Supers real quick. Hairbag Studios and Kevin. Good to see him back. Gotta thank all the drivers that made it out tonight. Glad to see a lot of new faces and old faces in here. Missed my teammate. Hopefully he can make it here in a couple weeks. And, I kind of missed race with him. But congrats to Rob again. And third, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if it was Bobby or Dave. One of you guys, congrats to third, whoever made the podium. It was a fun night for the first race, and look forward next week.
He put one on you, Powell, coming home with a second place. Let's talk to the guy that had a really good run out there tonight. Steady, ran by himself for most of the race, able to get up as high as third at some points. Carl Bonsai Becker. Carl, congratulations. You almost had a podium here tonight, but you didn't get the inside wall. It looked like you got the outside wall and damaged the car. How happy are you about this run here tonight?
I'll take the fourth. Yeah, I rolled up on that wall, and yeah, I did kind of screw it up, but I did run some high 8s and some 9s even after I did that, but I just didn't stay with you guys when you all took off, and by about 30 laps into the race, I was 8.5 seconds behind you fellas. So I really don't have any complaints. It went better than I kind of expected it would, and it's a track that makes you work. I guess, but the only saving grace was that I've run it more than some other fellas, and I know what it does.
Well, Carl, a 12.763 out there. One of the faster cars on the racetrack, so you had a good run here tonight. Congratulations in that Dowker Titanium Roadster, bringing it home for fourth.
Thank you, BG.
Carl Bonsai Becker, your fourth place finisher, doing a great job out there, bringing the Dowker Titanium Roadster in for fourth. Let's talk to our fifth place finisher, the youngest driver in the field, I believe, and rookie here tonight from Round Lakes, Illinois, Zach Sears. Zach, a fifth place. It was a rough one out there tonight, trying to keep her in line. How do you feel about getting this first wing show under your belt here for the new season?
Pretty good. I mean, me and Brad had a really good run at the very end. He passed me, and then I kind of gave back the spot, and it was a very close finish for me and him. Once in a while, I thought he was kind of a lap car, and then he came running past me, and then I got the spot immediately back in the corner. So it was a very good run. I know I'd like to thank everyone that came out. It was a very good show for the first one, and just happy to be here.
Well, picking up the Supers Charger tonight, moving 3 positions. Good way to start your shot or march towards the icings on top Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, Zach. Well, we're going to wrap things up here tonight from the Supers Broadcasting Network at LaPorte Speedway, race number 1 in the bag. And it was a doozy, as it always is here at LaPorte. Your winner, Rocket Rob Warren. Second place goes to Keith Put One on You, Powell. Third place, Bob Gangwer. That's your podium. Don't forget, coming up next week on the Supers Broadcasting Network, first R-Factor race of the season. It's the Dion Parrish Memorial. That is a race that we run to remember the late Dion Parrish, who lost his life in a testing accident in a real Supermodified at Kalamazoo Speedway. You can join us here on the Supers Broadcasting Network. You want to learn more about Supers, go to supers.net and click the About tab. You can find out more about the original Supermodified Sim Racing sanction. So for everyone here tonight, we want to say thanks to Breeze Graphics and Airbag Studio for putting the show on for us, our production manager Kevin Timmons, also to our server host, First to Finish Race Servers, and Rocket Rob Warren. Thanks to all the members of Heat Finder that raced with us here tonight. And don't forget, if you're racing NASCAR Heat, you want to go to heatfinder.net to learn more about how you can race all different kinds of race cars online with this good old game, NASCAR Heat. Thanks also to Icings on Top and our chief statistician and handicapper, Brad Keyser. We're going to turn things loose. It's been a long night trying to get everything rolling here tonight, but we finally got it done, and we're going to turn it in, and hope you all enjoyed it. Let us know where you were watching from here tonight, and until next week, we want to remind all of you to keep it wing side up and wheels to the ground.
Someone you love, and if you're going through it, I say do it with someone you love. I've been around a long time, in and out of love, but if you're gonna do it, I say do it with someone you love. Come on, do it.